Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Was it Tuesday now? Yeah, I think so. Happy Tuesday to all. Welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a brewery that's within the local area of mine. I don't think I've ever done a review for them before, but I've heard about them, and I don't remember if I've even actually had beers from these guys before, but they've definitely been on my radar, and I luckily haven't been able to get my hands on some of their stuff, so it's time for us to give them their fair shake. But we got one here from Soundgrowler Brewing Company called the Orange Haze. It's a West Coast, a hazy West Coast style IPA, which is definitely interesting when I saw it, just because West Coast style IPAs are definitely more well known for their American style of IPA, where they've definitely a little bit more of a malty backbone to them, definitely bringing in more of those like kind of piney herbal kind of flavors that the hops bring up, definitely playing around with a lot of more just bittering as well. But I think with this one being a hazy, this is definitely going to be interesting. I'm curious what they're going to do with this one, how it kind of played out, if it's going to be bright citrusiness, if there's going to be a predominant bitterness. But yeah, it's caught my attention, and I'm really curious at how they did like your normal New England style hazy, where it's like that's where you're known for being a hazy IPA, but making that in that West Coast style. So I'm really curious to see how it turns out. If I didn't mention before, this guy is a 7.0 ABV, so 7% ABV, which is, yeah, right on the realm of being sessionable for me. So, but yeah, I am super stoked. I believe this is actually still available at the tap room right now, which is really cool. So if you want to go over to the tap room, they're down in Tinley Park, Illinois. They're south of me, definitely like I would say like 45 minutes south, but definitely have some cool stuff going on over there, and it's just a cool crew. They have like a street food like taco window there where you can get food there as well, so you can go up to the brewery, have some beers, get some tacos or any kind of street food you want, and just do it that way. But I think that's a really cool situation that they do over there. But yeah, I think it's time for us to crack this thing open and see what we get on this one. What I want from this one, if they're making it a West Coast hazy, so I definitely want them to stick into the style of your West Coast IPA, your American IPA, with having maltier backbone, having that little bit more of a predominant bitterness to it. But I also want to see if they added some characteristics that you would normally expect from your New England hazy IPAs with having bright fruity flavors, and see if they did that to where it balances well. I'm not sure if they did, but we're about to find out. So let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose. Let's see here. Definitely getting a very, very strong citrusiness coming on the nose. Definitely, for me, personally, it's like a little bit of orange and a little bit of grapefruit for citrusiness for me. But definitely you're definitely getting the like a hoppy bitterness on the nose as well. Like you definitely know this is going to be a hoppy one. But yeah, it smells pretty delicious. I'm going to be drinking this out of my Black Horizon Brewing Company glass this afternoon. So let's pour this thing, see what we get all about. I want to see what kind of aromas we get when we pour this thing. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a head than I should, but let's see. Color looks pretty good for color. Let's get a little bit more of a head if we can. There we go. But yeah, definitely has some nice colors coming through this one. Of course, the head's like a nice pillowy soft head, but yeah, look at that. It's definitely more of a darker kind of hazy. Almost reminds me of stuff you'd see in like, almost gives me like almost like lager or like a Belgian wheat kind of color almost to it. Definitely having that more of an amber kind of haze to it. Nice amount of head. Definitely still getting a lot of citrus. Definitely for me it's still like grapefruit and orange on the nose. Definitely getting a little bit of like a piney vegetal kind of hoppiness as well. But yeah, definitely I think this is going to be pretty damn delicious. So let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So cheers everybody. Happy Tuesday. Okay, that's definitely, yeah, that's pretty solid. Not gonna lie, I feel like they took two elements of your West Coast IPA and added some elements from your like New England hazy IPA and put it in one, and I think they actually pulled it off really, really well. It's not too bitter. Definitely still getting bright citrusy flavors. It's very, very smooth. I would say when it comes to mouthfeel, it's not to the quite point where it's like a super juicy like mouthfeel or like a, but when I think it's like that middle point between almost that dry kind of just like thinner oily mouthfeel and that juicy mouthfeel. It hits that right in the middle point between the two, and it actually is really, really nice. So Flavors are getting on this one. You're getting bright citrus. You're getting a little bit more of that like bitter kind of hoppy note coming through with it. But execution with this one, I think they did an absolutely fantastic job. I love the color. I love the aromas going on with it. And having a West Coast style hazy, I think it's something that I might become a new fan of. I don't think I've had that many beers that are in the style of like West Coast hazy IPA, but I think Soundgrowler did an absolutely fantastic job of pulling this one off. Holy crap. Yeah, super, super refreshing. Not too bitter. Not too much on the like crazy almost bitterness to it. I thought there was going to be more of a bitterness to it, but there's not really that much. For me personally, I mean, I've had a lot of bitter beers before, so my palate might be more of accustomed to this. But to me, the bitterness isn't really crazy predominant, which is nice. So that I'm assuming that they use the same kind of grain bill that you would use in a West Coast IPA, but also, of course, not adding clearing agents when you're getting ready to get it through the process, everything like that. So there's no clearing agents, which is what you do to pretty much create a hazy, or you can add purees and stuff all in there to kind of help with keeping that haze a little bit more. But overall execution, top notch with this one. So let's look at over on Untappd with this guy, and let's see what we find here. So the Orange Haze description is pretty cool, pretty self-explanatory. It says it's a hopped up hazy IPA that will coat your mouth with citrus flavors and smack your tongue with hoppy bitterness in the finish. So for me, I get that citrusiness right up front. The citrusiness in this one is fantastic. I think it's delicious. And to me, I don't really get much bitterness lingering on the tongue, but that's just me personally. And of course, on Untappd itself, it states that this is a 6.6%, but on the can it states to 7%, which is fine. Maybe changes a little bit per batch, who knows. But looking here, let's see if we can try to find a similar beer to this one. This is going to be an interesting situation because I don't think I've had too many West Coast style hazy IPAs. I've had a bunch of West Coast IPAs. I've had your American IPA, a bunch of them before, but I can't recall having like a West Coast hazy before. I don't know if I'm drawing a blank, to be honest. So let's look here and see if we can find a similar beer. This one definitely has a lot of more local ones. So I would say some of them are around the Midwest. We got a couple of Illinois ones, but let's look here and see what they show for similar beers. So we got one here from Hailstorm called the Silver Lining. It's a New England hazy, but that one definitely has more of a darker amber kind of color to it. Of course, they brewed this one with Crystal and El Dorado with notes of citrus. So yeah, maybe the Silver Lining might be similar to this one from Hailstorm. Hailstorm is located in another Tinley Park Brewing Company, so if you're over by Soundgrowler, you could possibly stop over at Hailstorm as well. We got one here from Abomination Brewing Company called Fuck 2022 while we're at it. I really like that name. It says it's a triple dry hop, 9.7%. It's a double New England hazy. I don't know if I put this one in the same kind of category. Of course, Abomination's located in North Haven, Connecticut. What else we got here? We got one here from Great Lakes Brewing Company called the Tropic Coastal IPA, which is a little bit less of a haze. Definitely, they say this one gives a little bit more tropical fruit notes, but maybe, I guess, this one has definitely more of a golden color to it, so I don't know. This would be close, to be honest, because you're getting the fruitiness, you're getting the citrusiness that reminds you of tropical flavors. So maybe having this Tropicoastal IPA, maybe something similar. Then we got one here from Microphone Brewing Company, which is another local brewery of mine, called that One Guitar, which is it's Imperial Double 8% double dry hopped IPA with mosaic hops. That one definitely looks has a little bit more of a straw kind of color to it. Yeah, pretty close. I'm leaning towards the Tropicoastal, to be honest, to be the most similar, but let's look at my beer history and see if we can find something else that may be similar to this one. So this one's categorized under the IPA American. So if you can go to your beer history, of course, I believe you're able to do that on the app as well. You can filter through, let's see, IPA American, right there. So let's see what we find. Yeah, I can definitely put the Summer Crush from Pedro's being something similar to this one. I don't know if I'd put anything from the Snaggletooth because that's going to be a more predominant bitterness to me. Maybe the Wheeze and the Juice from Grand Armory. Grand Armory Brewing Company is located in Grand Haven, Michigan. So maybe Wheeze and the Juice is an option. That one definitely doesn't have as much haze to it, but I think flavors might be pretty close. What else we got here? Let's see here. See, I don't know if but there's a bunch of breweries are making American style IPAs. Just trying to find one that's similar to this one. Maybe a little bit difficult. To be honest, I'm leaning more towards. Let me see if I could find something here. There has to be something more that I can freaking find. Maybe the Next Coast from Goose Island could be an option. Maybe the Second City Waves from Urban Brew Labs. Maybe an option. Urban Brew Labs is located in Chicago, so another Chicago brewery. But to be honest, if I had to pick something that's most similar to this one, I'd probably put the Summer Crush on there from Penrose, another local one of mine, local brewery of mine, and then I'd probably pick the Tropicoastal IPA from Great Lakes Brewing Company if I had to choose any, just because I think they're going to be kind of similar when it comes to tropical flavors and like maybe some citrusiness coming along with it. But I think those are going to be the one that's kind of be the closest that you can get. I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to be almost exact, but it's going to be pretty damn close. So let's look back here on Untappd. Let's see if there's what else we got here. Let's look at the description of all this guy. Not description, just the ratings and all that kind of stuff with this one. So that, like I stated before, it's a 7% ABV, which you guys know by now is definitely in my realm of being sessionable. It's just below my cutoff of 7.5. And it also states this one has 72 IBUs, which, yeah, I can kind of see that IBU rating being there, but to me, it tastes like it's less IBUs than 72, to be honest. That may be from the batch. That was the 6.6%. I don't know. But with over 2,434 ratings, this one has an average rating of 3.86 out of 5, which is pretty good. I'm definitely really enjoying this one. So let's look here to see if there's anybody on my friends list who checked this one in, which, if I remember correctly, my dad's the one that picked these up for us. And he went over to Soundgrowler and picked up a 4-pack for us. I believe there may be one of these going in on one of my Patreon giveaways coming soon. I don't remember correctly. If I got to go downstairs and look. I think I put one of these into the Patreon giveaway. I don't recall 100%, or I might have done a Patreon giveaway for this one already. I just, the brains kind of just be like, I don't know. But yeah, he gave it a 3.75 purchase at Soundgrowler Brewing Company, and he got it on draft over there too. So, but let's see what people are saying on the global ratings with this one. So most of the time, I don't think Soundgrowler has distribution into other states yet. I mean, even though they're saying verified locations, having some locations in Colorado, there may be a possibility where you'd be able to get some of this stuff in different states. I don't know. Knowing that there's 3 locations in Ohio that have possible verified locations with Soundgrowler, you may be able to find them in Ohio, so that's a pretty nice thing. So if you're, not in Ohio, Colorado, Jesus Christ. So if you're in Colorado, you may be able to find some Soundgrowler beers, but looking at the global ratings of this one, let's see what else people had to say. This guy got it in a flight. He got it on draft over there. I gave it a 3.5. He said second from the right, which is, of course, he's looking at the pretty much what he has in his flight right there, so he's naming which one it is. He says, I got the orange, but overall average. So he thinks it's an average beer. That's fine. It's not a bad thing. Let's see. This person gave it a 4 out of 5. He got this on draft as well. We got another 4. We got a 3.5, 4, 4.25. It looks like. Oh, is there a concert going there? Okay, from what I've heard, that they do have shows over at Soundgrowler. Like, they have bands that play. They have a specific area at the brewery that they have bands playing and all that stuff, which I think is pretty damn cool. So it looks like there's a full-on concert going over there at Soundgrowler when he drank this one, but he gave it a 4.25. Let's see, we got this person gave it a 4.5, purchased at Soundgrowler. Another 3. Let's see, we got a 3.75. We got a 4. 3.75 just says Rage on there, which is pretty cool. Well, let's do 2 more. Let's see, we got a 3.75, and the last one we got here is a 4.5 out of 5. So overall, pretty good ratings, I would have to say, on this one. That's definitely some overall pretty solid ratings. Definitely a couple like 3.5s to 3.25s on there, but that's okay. But overall, yeah, I would say there's pretty solid ratings of this one. I can definitely see this one after a couple more check-ins from people if people start drinking it. This kind of raising average, just because there's a lot of recent check-ins when it comes to being closer to that 4 realm. So it might balance it out to kind of have that average rating being closer to a 4 out of 5. So, yeah, pretty solid ratings on this one for sure. But with all that being said, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here in R and with this guy. The first thing we like to look at is can art, which, I'll be completely honest with you, Soundgrowler is doing some really cool things with can art. They definitely have that vibe of something that usually goes for can art that I go for. I mean, they went with a silver label on this one, but having the skull right there, almost having like flames coming out of it or smoke, and then you kind of have some arrows sticking through it on like some shrubs or like a bush or something around there, or just maybe like a vine kind of situation growing around it. But I definitely think that's a really, really cool, like clean and classy can art, with also being to the point where it appeals to me, which I love skulls and all that kind of stuff on my can arts as well. So yeah, their logo is really clean, of course, the Soundgrowler logo. Then you have it right there. So overall, they took advantage of most of the space that they had available on this can art. I mean, they even put like a lightning bolt in there for some reason, just to kind of add a little bit more space, which I could definitely appreciate. I like how when breweries kind of take advantage of all the real estate that they have on their can to put something. I mean, the only spots you really don't have anything on here is right on the sides right here, but that's where it's showing like the 7% ABV and all that kind of stuff. And what else? It's kind of giving you a description on there as well. And which it's pretty much same thing I read off. It says a fresh take on West Coast IPAs with this bold citrusy IPA proves that hazy IPAs aren't a one-trick pony, which I love that. So overall, can art is really nice. So I'm going to give this a very, very solid. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I like it a lot. I've definitely seen some other stuff with a little bit more detail, but there's definitely still enough detail on that one that would be to the point where if I saw it at a liquor store or a bottle shop, I would stop and look at it just because it has that eye-catching kind of stuff going on with it. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 is where I'm going to leave with this one. Really, really nice. But let's see what else here. If I got this beer like this one guy did when he checked it, if I got this beer in a flight over at Soundgrowler, would I get another one? Absolutely. This is definitely one of the better, for being the first beer that I've had from Soundgrowler that I remember. Yeah, this is definitely a great first impression. I'd love to see what else kind of stuff they come out with, so I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for them moving forward. But yeah, it's a very, very solid, easy drinking, just really, really sessionable, nice, citrusy, smooth, hazy IPA. And they did it on a West Coast style, and I think they absolutely nailed it. This would probably be one that I would take a 4-pack home, to be honest. This is definitely something that reminds me of something that I would drink on like a nice warm day if either you're barbecuing or maybe outside mowing the lawn. I think this would be something that's great for that kind of season. But I believe this one's available year-round too, so this might be something that you can get year-round with them. But I think it would probably taste that much more refreshing during the summer and everything like that. So let's see here. What is my final rating on this guy going to be? To be honest, I'm going to give this a very, very solid 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoy this one. If you're a fan of hazy IPAs and you're looking for something a little bit different that still gives you your like hazy fix, your like New England hazy IPA fix, but still having a lot of those similar mouthfeels, similar flavors of citrusiness and bright fruity notes, but also maybe having a little bit of a difference, having a little bit more of a maltiness, not really having that crazy of a like different mouthfeel. Or maybe just a little bit different of a mouthfeel with being into the point where it's like the mouthfeel of an American IPA plus similar to your New England IPAs as well. Just having that middle point to where it meets both styles of IPA right in the center. I think this is one that most likely any IPA lover can enjoy, I think. So no matter what side of the spectrum you're on, I think this is something that appeases to both crowds, because it's very hit or miss with people when it comes to you're either a fan of your American IPAs or you're a fan of your hazies. There's not a lot of times to where someone's like, I like both, even though I'm like one of those people where I do enjoy both. I lean towards more on the New England hazy side, but this hits right in that center point between the two, and it's the best of both worlds. So I think that's what they really fantastic about it. So 8 out of 10, I think, is where I'm going to leave with this one. Absolutely fantastic job over at Soundgrowler. It's a good group of people, and they're making some good beers over there. So if you want to have the opportunity to go over there, I would definitely recommend it. Or if what Untapped is telling me, there may be some availability when it comes to distribution in Denver, Colorado. And let's see, 2 locations in Denver, and then we got one place in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, that may have stuff from Soundgrowler. They're saying they're verified locations for them, so you may have the opportunity to pick some stuff up from them, which is really cool. But other than that, let's see here. I think that is pretty much what I have for you guys today. So before we get out of here, before I start doing my sign-outs and where you can find all my stuff, of course, I have a Patreon. You guys know by now that I do monthly 4-pack giveaways over there of Illinois exclusive craft beer. And it's time for us to do December's drawing. So I have everybody's name up on random.org thing. Of course, if you want to have the opportunity to win some beer from me, head over to my Patreon. Doesn't matter what tier you join. But if you join a higher tier, you may have the higher opportunities to win. So we got all the names down in the random.org thing. So I'm going to randomize 3 times. And on the third randomize, the person at the top is going to be the winner. So let's see here if... I'm going to randomize first, so good luck, everybody. Randomize 1. We got that. Do it again. And then the last one we're about to do now is going to be the winner. Face me, your name showed up again. Do you want some beer? Or do you want to piff it? It's up to you. You won this one. I know you've gotten it's been a month since you've had a win, so it's up to you if you want another one, Face me, and if not, I can piff it for you. But it's completely up to you. If you want to try some more beers and have some more Illinois stuff in your fridge, this is the perfect opportunity to say yes or just piff it. So let me know, Face me. Let me know. Let's see. Did he say anything? What do we got? Nothing for Face me yet. Let's see. Is he gonna take his win, or is he gonna have somebody else have the opportunity to win? Because then we'll do. Okay, you'll donate it to whoever's name comes up on the 4th randomize. So, Face me is piffing. So we're about to do the 4th one, and Kevin K won last month. So we're not doing him because I have to still send him his box. But now it's Face me again. God damn it! Let's do another one. Lee. Okay. Mr. Lee, not the real Gerard Butler, has won December's 4-pack giveaway. I know since there's only a few people in the Patreon right now, they've all won a few times by now. So they've all gotten beer from me at one point. So some people have gotten more than others, but it's just I'm trying to even it out a little more now. So we got Mr. Lee, not the real Gerard Butler, who has won December's 4-pack giveaway. So I'll get that stuff out within the next day or so. I'm going to probably pack it all up today at some point and then probably ship it out tomorrow or something. So Kevin K, you'll be getting your November box, and then Lee will be getting his December 4-pack. So, well, Lee, yeah, Lee owes a lot of people beer. I know he sent it to me. So if you want to take Lee's, never mind. But yeah, congratulations, Lee, not the real Gerard Butler, for winning December's 4-pack giveaway. I have all your addresses and stuff already, so I don't need to worry about that. I'll just get that stuff out to you within the next couple days. But other than that, yeah, congratulations, Lee, again. But yeah, of course, you can always shoot me a follow on any of my other social media platforms. Of course, I think I might have a review coming tomorrow for you guys, so keep an eye out for that. Just depending work, I'm gonna eventually be getting back to work here within the next couple days, so not 100% sure what reviews are gonna look like. But I think tomorrow I have time to do a review. So of course, if you want to keep track of what's going to be reviewed at the time, or you just want to be the first place to see what's going to be reviewed when I do a review, head over to my Instagram, shoot me a follow over there, and you'll be able to see all that stuff. Plus, every once in a while, you'll see some behind the scenes stuff I do over at the brewery. Of course, you have my Untapped as well, which you guys hear me talk about Untapped all the time. It's a fantastic platform. I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers, because pretty much what it is. You check in beers, you get badges, you do all that kind of stuff. So if you haven't shot me a friend request yet and you're on Untapped, go ahead and do so. I greatly appreciate it. The link to my profile is down in the description below. And yeah, you guys already saw what the Patreon kind of situation's like. You can win a 4-pack of beer from me a month if you enter the Patreon. Of course, there's 3 tiers. The higher tier you join, the more opportunities you have to win. So plus down the road, I'm working on some other giveaways and stuff, and possibly doing having more different kind of giveaways besides just being beer at some point. Plus, there's a bunch of other stuff that I have planned when it comes to down the road. Having the Patreon be the place where you can get some merch, glassware, coasters, koozies of mine, and all that kind of stuff like that. So if you want the opportunity to get all that stuff, the Patreon will be the best way to do so. Plus, it's the one place that helps me and helps support me the most out of everything besides subscribing to the channel. So if you want to help me out, if you want to help you get more beers on this channel and all that kind of stuff, go over to the Patreon. It'd be greatly appreciated. But no, if you don't have the opportunity to do so, not a big deal. But of course, the link to that is down in the description below as well. But other than that, I think that is pretty much what I have for you guys today, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you everybody again for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thank you everybody in chat. You guys are the best. Thank you who is going to be watching the replay as well. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see you all next time. Cheers.